Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Cole Phillips, author of The Adventure of the Twisted Truths and host of the Book and Dagger. And today this is the starting video of a series of videos that I'm going to be doing on a certain TV show that I personally love very much. Now, I will say I was aware of the show as a kid, I just never watched it as a kid. I actually watched it this year for the first time recently. It's a long show, it's 16 seasons, but I binge watched it in like a month and a half. Might have honestly been a month. It was so good. That show is Lego Ninjago. Now, I know a lot of you guys, please do not stop watching this video as soon as you hear that, because Lego Ninjago is actually a very, very good show. And when I first started watching, I had reservations too about it. I was like, oh, it's probably just going to be like a kids show, basically an overhyped advertisement for the Legos. And then I started watching it, and I was like, this storyline is really, really good. And the characters, lots of moments where you can just relate to the characters. It's got something for everyone. So if you are an adult and you love fantasy and fiction, but you've never seen this show, I hope these videos will encourage you to watch it. Now there will be some spoilers in these videos because I'm going to do some videos I'm going to rank the seasons in my personal opinion, which ones are the best, which ones are the worst, even though there's really only one. Well, there's really only one season of Ninjago there's really only two seasons of Ninjago out of 16 seasons. There were only two seasons that I was like, I didn't really care for this season. Every other season was amazing, and I was hooked and on the edge of my seat the entire time. But I also want to do some videos on some of the characters, some of my personal favorite characters, some of their best moments in the series, and just honestly, because like Ninjago has so many good moments. There's just like so many good like life lessons that come through. Where like if you watch a lot of anime, you probably know there's a lot of like anime moments where it's just like in the middle of a fight, a character has like a realization about life, or like holding people close to them, holding the people who they love. They hope they should like treasure moments with them, stuff like that. Just so that makes you reconsider and rethink life and realize you've done some things wrong. Maybe you should start changing the way you do some things in life, stuff like that. But and this I'm not this channel is not going to turn into a Lego Ninjago channel. I'm still going to talk about all things fiction and fantasy, but I will be doing a decent amount of videos on Lego Ninjago in the coming days. And this video actually right now we're going to go ahead and start. I'm going to go ahead and I have a list that I composed. I'm going to be ranking in this video. I'm going to be ranking the Lego Ninjago episodes from what I consider to be the weakest seasons to the best seasons. We're going to do the last 8 on this list of what I consider to be the weak. So basically, these are going to be the 8 weakest Lego Ninjago ones. But a lot of them I still got enjoyment out of. So if slight spoilers, if you have not watched the shows, please pause this video, go watch the shows, then you can come back and watch the videos and see if you agree with me or not. But coming in at number 16 on our list. Oh, by the way, I'm not including the Dragons Rising seasons in this ranking because Dragons Rising is not out yet. I have seen the rest. It's not finished. I've seen the first 2 seasons. It's funny because I heard a lot of bad stuff about Dragons Rising, so I did not. Originally, I watched Lego Ninjago, and I was like, I'm not going to watch Dragons Rising. And then a couple weeks ago, I was like, why not? So I went in and watched it. Season 1 was okay. It was like just enough to keep me interested. Season 2, I was very impressed with Dragons Rising. I loved the choreography, the fight scenes, the plot twists, and I thought it was a really good. I don't really see why so many people feel the need to hate on it. Season 1, yes, was weak, and there's a lot of criticisms to be said, but other than that, I thought season 2 of Dragons Rising was really good. And you can disagree or disagree, but I really enjoyed season 2. I am looking forward to season 3, and I hope that they just continue it. Now, I will say I did not really care for some of the I didn't really care for Aaron as a new character. I really enjoyed Wildfire. I liked Sora. I just didn't really connect with Aaron. But this is not about Dragons Rising. This is about the OG Lego Ninjago. So let's get into it. On number 16 on our list is the weakest. Coming at the weakest of all the Lego Ninjago seasons is The Island, which I believe is season 14 or 13 or 14. I believe it's 13. I just wasn't too impressed with The Island. Basically, the island is Lego Ninjago. I feel like it's there. It's a filler. It's basically like 4 episodes of filler. It feels like for the big stories, and it was basically kind of felt it ended kind of like how they would end a Scooby Doo episode, where they even made like a Scooby Doo reference of like, "Oh, I would have gotten away for it if it weren't for you, meddling ninjas," and I was just kind of like, it just wasn't didn't do anything. So we're not going to talk about the island much. We're just going to move on. Number 15 on our list is Seabound, which I get it. A lot of people are going to hate me because Seabound, I did cry. I did cry when Nia sacrificed herself and fused with the ocean. And I really, but I don't know. I hated the Prince Calamari guy. I just could not stand him, and it just kind of ruined the show for me. Like, which I feel is like good writing on their part, as it like making him a villain, making someone that you just absolutely hate and like don't feel any sympathy for is like that's a really good villain. I just could not stand him, and that kind of derailed the show for me. Um, but yeah, it was that's why it's on season 15. I just didn't really like the villain. I will say Wojiro was insanely cool and getting some more lore on the first Spinjitzu master and his alliance with like the Islanders and stuff. I loved that. Um, that's it. Other than that, just like the main villain just ruined it for me. Anyway, 14 on our list is Crystallized Part 1. I understand Crystallized gets a lot of hate. I actually, so Crystallized Part 1, I actually enjoyed that one. That one, it was not the strongest Ninjago season by any means, but I still enjoyed it. It was just fun seeing Hound Dog McBragg and Sally, and I will say it gave me one of the biggest like what moments when the Council of the Crystal King revealed you know who to be the leader of the Crystal Council, and she just like walking up to Lloyd singing the song from like season like 8, and I was sitting there like, no, there's no way. And I freaked out when it was revealed that you know who, if you know who I'm talking about, was still alive. I get a lot of people that hated that. I personally loved it. Moving on, we have 13. Or number 13 is going to be the Hands of Time. I think I've heard like mixed consensus on this one. I know a lot of people love the Hands of Time. A lot of people hate it. It was good. I just didn't enjoy it as much as some of the other ones that are higher up on my list. And there weren't. I just will say that Real Reasons Hand of Time is kind of like lower on my list of, or like closer to the like the end of my least favorite, because I've never really enjoyed. This is gonna give me some hate probably, but I've never really enjoyed villains with time control powers. That just seems like I get it. It's cool to a lot of people, but I never really enjoyed villains with time control powers. That just seems just too like it's just too overpowered, you know. And it's I just never really enjoyed time manipulation in stories. That's why Hand of Time is really like kind of low on my list. Um, I will say I did really enjoy the Vermilion Warriors. Those were a really cool concept, and then it ended with a cliffhanger of Master Wu finding the Hands of Time and then disappearing into time. Other than that, I just didn't really. And yeah, you got to see Kai and Nia's parents, which was really insane. I loved that. But other than that, it just didn't really do a whole lot for me. I still enjoyed it, but it's just lower on the list. 11 is Rise of the Serpentine. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, how could you put this one at number 11 out of 16? Don't get me wrong, I loved Rise of the Serpentine. The only reason it is lower on the list is because it's the first, other than the pilot episodes, it's the first season. So the fight scenes are very like, they're still working out. The fight scenes are very wonky. Like as the seasons go on, the fight scenes become insanely smooth. It's like you're watching like a animated fight scene from like, Attack on Titan or Demon Slayer or something. It's absolutely crazy. But in the first season, the fight scenes are still wonky. It's still just very much like a Lego advertisement for their, which the stories is still great. Like I said, I love Rise of the Serpentine. I absolutely love the reveal of who's going to become the Green Ninja. I love when Garmadon bursts in the snake cave, serpentine caves with his skeleton army to fight the snakes. I just then rescue the ninja. I love when Garmadon like wields the 4 weapons of Spinjitzu to defeat the Great Devourer. I loved every single moment of that. The only reason is it's just very clunky to watch going back, having seen the other seasons. But I still love it. So don't get me wrong, I love that season. Number 10 is Possession. Possession is one that when I first watched it, I was like, this season didn't do a whole lot for me. I did enjoy the character Moro. I just don't think that. So first let me say that I went back and rewatched it, and I was like, this was actually a really good season because it has you introduced the character Ronin and his like flip floppiness, and then Nia unlocks her powers. He's revealed to be the Water Ninja, and it's just there's a lot of cool like the ghost armies and the preeminent. That was all really good. I feel like Possession is like overhyped. Like yes, it was good. I just didn't feel like it was as good as some of the other seasons higher up on my list. I will say Moro is like a lot of people are like, "Oh, Moro's him. He's so cool." I remember watching it. I even rewatching it. I'm just kind of like, I mean, Moro's just kind of an arrogant jerk. I mean, he's arrogant, cocky, over it. I just kind of like with Seabound. I didn't really like him as a person. Like, yes, he's great as a villain, but as a person, I did not care for him. Which is why Possession is number 10. Number 9 on our list is Sons of Garmadon. Sons of Garmadon, I really enjoyed. I will say when I first started watching it, and I saw the betrayal by the Jade Princess, I was pretty disappointed because I was really hoping that she was going to be Lloyd's romantic interest in the show. And, well, that's what was going on. I was like, I was like, I like her. She's giving food to the poor and everything. And then they reveal that she was this evil person. I think her motives for hating the ninja are kind of weak since the ninja failed to stop the Great Devourer. But it's like, it wasn't their fault that the Great Devourer. So I think her motives are kind of weak. But I do love Harumi as a character. And when she betrayed Lloyd, I was pretty upset. Sons of Garmadon, however, was also really cool when she conducted like the ritual to bring back the Oni side of Garmadon, and just the Sons of Garmadon gang in general, like, is really cool. The crazy ultraviolet and the massive strong dude. I think his name was like Kilo or something. I can't remember. I'm gonna have to rewatch it, but I enjoyed Sons of Garmadon. The Oni masks I thought was a really interesting concept and really cool, especially because like in 2 seasons later you actually meet real Oni and you're like, oh, those Oni masks were nothing compared to the real Oni. Yeah, Sons of Garmadon was good. It's just like I said again, a lot of these are just lower on the list because there are just other seasons that I just thought were even better. But that's gonna be that's the lowest 8 on my list, and like I said, most of these like they may be pretty low on the list of my favorite of which one's best, but I still really enjoyed a lot of them, and they're still like even these are the weakest ones. They're still totally worth the watch, except for The Island, which I just did. I think that they just fumbled that one. It was literally just filler. I feel like that one was like they had a quota of seasons to meet, like 16 or something, and they just were like, we'll just make a filler one because we like want to get to the good stuff. And just after The Island, the stuff is good. So, but that's gonna be part 1 of our videos on ranking Ninjago seasons. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and come back for part 2.